I first met Esther Gokhale and learned about her posture class through my daughter's soccer team. Esther's daughter Monisha was also on the team. And I admired Esther's poise and her confidence and learned a little bit more about what she was doing. And she encouraged me to come to one of her classes. And I told her that I was, practicing yoga. I had just come back from a weekend in Sonoma with my mother and had given my mother a massage during that weekend and noticed that she was very stiff and her muscles seemed quite tight, and she just seemed like, she was not in the best shape for a 60-some-year-old woman. So I thought, how can I prevent my body from aging the way my mother's is aging? I've been practicing yoga for about 6 years. And I started off in a beginner yoga class with good solid instruction, but I felt after attending Esther's class on posture, there were so many things I wish I would have known before I even started yoga and had incorporated that into my yoga practice from day one, especially her segments on anchoring the ribs and just being much more aware of how your ribs and your shoulders and the alignment impacts your balance and energy in the poses. I mean, I feel like she really helped me get more out of my yoga workout. It's a higher level of awareness in everything you do in life, whether it's driving a car, standing, doing yoga. It's subtle, but it's just an awareness where I feel like I'm paying attention to things that weren't consciously in my mind. The techniques that have probably helped me the most are generally awareness in my shoulders. Esther pointed out some techniques, ratcheting back your shoulders, kind of lifting them and almost pretending that they're on a hook behind your back in terms of helping you align your posture. And she works with you very closely because it's not simply throwing your shoulders back and sticking out your chest. There's subtle ways to just generally be aware of how you're holding yourself. And in my case, for some reason, whenever I would put my shoulders back, my ribs would tend to try to project forward, so she coupled that with techniques for anchoring the ribs and positioning the pelvis, and all very, very subtle adjustments that she made during the course of the practice and repeated, because you have to hear these things more than once, many times, and just little adjustments. And she made me more aware, and gradually I was able to, find the postures and the positions myself and reinforce them. And now they come more naturally. It's a lifelong practice of being aware, and I did the seminars with Esther about a year ago. The benefits, I feel more confident. Definitely when you're standing up straight, you just feel like you project a presence to the world where you're more open, you're present, you're, approachable. I think probably what surprised me most is the fact that I wanted to share it with people as I met them. My friends, I would tell them about it, and I would share just how something that we take for granted every day, like walking and sitting and driving and running and lying down, there's actually a better way to do it, and people just don't really think about it. And I think Esther's really good about, spelling out the things that we're doing wrong when we're doing these everyday things. Not necessarily wrong, but are not the most beneficial position for our body. Esther's method is to me, just very fundamental. It's a foundation. And again, I wish it was something that I was exposed to years ago. I've thought, and I probably will, bring my children in for a class, because I think it's such basic stuff that just is overlooked. Esther's method is pure, it's simple, it's real, it's accessible. I would recommend this class to anybody, not just people with pain and backaches. I think children could benefit from it. I think it would be wonderful to have this as a segment of a PE class in school, just to make kids aware. I know all of my girlfriends who I've shared it with are interested in taking the class. It's just a matter of finding the time. I love the fact that Esther has a book coming out, because that's another way of sharing her information and making it accessible to people. I'd recommend it to my mother. I'm a big fan of Esther. Esther is so present, such a great listener. She's open, she's passionate about what she's doing.